Hello, my brothers and sisters in our Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Father Joe, and I'm a priest at St. Joseph's Church in Elko, Nevada. Now, traditionally, today has been the day we celebrate the Ascension. However, in most dioceses of the United States, we actually transfer this feast to the coming up Sunday. And so, at least in our diocese, today is just the Thursday of the 6th week of Easter. However, the readings are very, very useful for us as well. And I want to focus on our first reading. Now, yesterday we had the great moment of St. Paul preaching at the Areopagus, but this week things are slightly different. And there's somewhat of a shift in focus of St. Paul. And I think it's also something useful for us as well, because yesterday Paul was talking to the broader society, but today he's kind of focusing on his Jewish brothers and sisters, those that shared the same faith as him, that were brought up in the same religion, the same milieu. And so St. Paul is addressing them directly. And it's very interesting. Whereas St. Paul yesterday focused on what was going on in their culture, pointing to the altar to the unknown God, St. Paul focuses on one key thing, namely that Jesus is the Christ. The word Christ is the Greek word for anointed one, in Hebrew, Messiah, that Jesus is the Christ. And so St. Paul, again, is looking at where the people are coming from and addresses his message to them, specifically that there is this expectation, this awaiting of the anointed one, of the one that would be sent by God, of the promised one. And Paul focuses his preaching, his message on this, that this one whom they have been waiting for is in fact Jesus. And so it's an interesting thing to contemplate as well. The same sort of mentality that Paul showed yesterday, but addressed to a different community, namely looking at where people are, finding what is true, good, and beautiful there, and then building upon that. So I've always found that to be something interesting in St. Paul's evangelical work. With that, I'm going to end my reflection. Stay safe, my brothers and sisters. May God bless and keep you.